We are the cosmos made conscious, and life is the means by which the universe understands itself. By Brain Cox. As per the practice of the World Community Service Center, we begin the session with Durya meditation. Accordingly, we invite Professor Parameshwaran, Managing Trustee from Delhi NCR Sky Trust, conducting Durya meditation. A brief introduction about Professor. Hailing from a traditional handloom weavers family, qualified in the field of textile engineering, got introduced to the traditional yoga in the year 1994 during the college days. He got introduced to Manavala Kalai in the year 2003. From then onwards, realizing the value and greatness of Manavala Kalai, he has developed himself as a master. Serving as a Sky Professor voluntarily at Delhi NCR Sky Trust, he has a great visions of Swamiji to bring into reality. In order to qualify and align to the mainstream, he has completed an MSc and MPhil in Sky Yoga, popularly known as Yoga for Human Excellence, by the academic community. Over to you, sir.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The divine power descends upon us, and our body and soul are being purified and blessed. The divine power descends upon us, and body and soul are being purified and blessed. The divine power descends upon us, and our body and soul are being purified and blessed. May the divine power protect us, guide us, lead us, day and night, at all times, at all places, in all our activities. Salutations to Mother. Salutations to Father. Salutations to Guru Vethathiri Maharishi. Surya meditation. Let's start our meditation at Agna Chakra, in between eyebrows.
பண்ணின மியூட் வாய்ஸ் கேட்டுட்டு இருக்கோம்.
Thurium, be blessed by divine. Let's conclude the meditation. With the grace of divine power, we will enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. By the grace of divine power, we will enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. By the grace of divine power, we will enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Vethathiri performed by our Guru Vethathiri Maharishi, World Community Service Center, வாழ்க வளமுடன். Temple of Consciousness at Aliyar, வாழ்க வளமுடன். All the meditation centers and trusts around the world, வாழ்க வளமுடன். All those who have joined us today's meditation via Zoom, வாழ்க வளமுடன். Twofold moral principles. I, in my lifetime, will not cause any suffering to the body or mind of any person. I'll strive to remove the miseries of others to the extent possible. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். May peace prevail in us. May peace prevail in around us. May peace prevail all over the world. Peace, peace, peace. Gently rub your palms and fingers. Spread the energy over the face. Take a deep breath. Raise your hands above head and join your palms, and exhaling slowly, bring down your hands. வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thanks, Professor, for a well beginning of this session with Durya meditation. Be blessed by the divine. Dear all, today, 20th March 2021, Saturday evening. After a blissful meditation with immense pleasure, I am delighted to welcome you all for today's Consciousness 360-degree 11th online program meet. We have been to the moon. We have charted the depths of the ocean and the heart of the autumn. But we have a fear of looking inward to ourselves because we sense that is where all the contradictions flow together. By Terence McKenna. Vethathiri Maharishi made everyone to understand the meaning of the statement simply and easily. Now, the World Community Service Center R&D department has taken this initiative of Consciousness 360-degree, the weekly conclave. Now, let us move on to the session. We are pleased to have here Dr. W. Selvamurthy, President, ASTIF Amity University, Noida, for the presiding address. Dr. W. Selvamurthy is a President, Amity Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation, Director General of Amity Directorate of the Science and Innovation, Chancellor, Amity University, Chhattisgarh. He did Master MSc in Human Psychology from Christian Medical College, Vellore, PhD from Delhi University. He was awarded the Doctorate of Science from 5 universities in recognition of his outstanding research and development contributions in life science. He held senior positions in Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, Government of India for 4 decades, managed several health and life science related technologies. He holding several high-profile positions like member of the Scientific Advisory Committee to Cabinet, SACC, member of the high-powered committee appointed by Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR. He has published 250 plus research papers and 18 books, represented to World Health Assembly, received several prestigious research awards, including CSIR National Award for S&T Innovations from Honorable Prime Minister, Technology Leadership Award by DRDO, Lifetime Achievement Award from Honorable President of India, and many more. Again, we are welcoming Dr. W. Selvamurthy for presiding address. Over to you, sir.
வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வையகம். Salutations to Vethathiri Maharishi, the founder of this great organization in Aliyar, which is rendering a yeoman service to the whole world community, the World Community Service Center. It is spreading the message of Vethathiri Maharishi across the globe. And my salutations, tributes, and also my submission and pranams to this great soul. I am grateful to Dr. M.V. Rabindranath, the director of this great center, the World Community Service Center, and the Directorate of Research and Development for looking at the concepts of Vethathiri Maharishi through a scientific perspective. So thank you very much, Dr. Rabindranath, for this great mission you have taken in your life to look at, understand the mystics, mysteries, and the scientific concepts of Vethathiri Maharishi. And may God bless you with long life, good health to take this mission forward in for many years to come. I would also like to thank Dr. Parameshwaran for this great sojourn through the Turiya meditation, where he has taken us to a different level of consciousness through this meditation. So Dr. Parameshwaran, you are doing a yeoman service to the society who are looking for peace, harmony, happiness, bliss, and you are showing the path through this Turiya meditation. So Parameshwaran, again, my gratitudes to you for this brief experience which you gave it to all of us. My friend Dr.K.K. Deepak, whom I have known for decades, a great physiologist, and who has really made a remarkable achievement in propagating yoga on a scientific perspective. In the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, he has established an integrative medicine center where how the yoga therapy, nutritional interventions, the meditation, everything can be brought in to look at a patient holistically and treat the whole disease, the whole human being, not just the body. So Deepak, it's a great job you are doing to integrate the ancient traditional wisdom with the modern concepts of medicine. And then how do you give holistic treatment to the whole population? So and he has published many papers. He's an outstanding physiologist, which the country is proud of. And I have at least known him for 4 decades now, since his PhD time. So he is still very creative, productive, with many new publications as the head of the Department of Physiology at the Apex Medical Institution, the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Today we are going to have a wonderful deliberation, exposition by Dr.K.Perumal, the director of the Academy Vision, the World Community Service Center, and he is a well-renowned, recognized, and also illuminated, well enlightened soul. And he is going to talk to us about consciousness in day-to-day life. Consciousness. What do we mean by consciousness? Because we talk about consciousness, but how do we understand consciousness? And so this is what he is going to look at, consciousness in day-to-day life. But when you look at the topic which you are going to deliberate for the next 20 lecture series, the confluence of Vethathiri Maharishi's prominent disciples, every Saturday you are going to deliberate, all of us are going to listen to you. He is going, this mission is going to look at consciousness 360 degrees, consciousness 360 degrees. Because he is going to take a part of it. Part of it is daily life, consciousness in daily life is going to be deliberated by him. But then there is a consciousness beyond life. That is after your birth to death. And then again, where do we go and how do we come back? So it's a cycle. 360 degree means you are now looking at life and birth. This is one semicircle. The other semicircle also is there, which we don't know. That after the death, how the soul moves out and then gets into another cycle, another half cycle, and then comes back again. Because Janma, we are taking Janmas. So how are we going to understand this consciousness 360 degrees? Where are we going after death? How are we coming? Where are we coming from back to the world? So this is consciousness 360 degrees. So this is a complex topic in which Vethathiri Maharishi has given many, many concepts. I was very fortunate to visit this great soul. I had 2 hours one-to-one interaction as a young scientist in DRDO when I was the director of Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences. I had gone to Chennai and I have fixed up a time with this great soul, Vethathiri Maharishi. And he was living near Tambaram. There is a center there near Tambaram, beyond Tambaram. So I went to his house. There is a house as well as he gives the discourses. So I spent 2 hours just one-to-one. I and Swamiji, Guruji was there. So I spent 2 hours. So he talked about everything, the creation of the universe, the Anushakti. Then he talked about the evolution of human soul, and he talked about the gravity. He talked about consciousness. So that 2 hours, I was loaded with so much of knowledge. So I was fascinated by the concept. Then he gave a bundle of books to me, a bundle of books which I carried, I read, and it's very difficult to understand some of the concepts. Then I had the opportunity to visit his center at Aliyar. They have created a big library of his books as well as his philosophy. There is a big museum there where all the repository of knowledge which Vethathiri Maharishi has given to this world, it is stored there. Please visit. I would urge, I would request all these people, disciples who are here, please do visit this museum as well as that library. There's a big library there. There's a meditation center there. You should go and feel the vibration there. I have done that. At least 3 visits I have made to this center at Aliyar. Aliyar is near Pollachi, Coimbatore. So it's about 80 kilometers or 60 kilometers from Coimbatore. So please do visit and have the feel of it. I had the opportunity of meeting Padma Shri SKM Mailanandam. Mailanandam, who is now taking the mission and propagating this great message of Vethathiri Maharishi. And my salutation to him, because I listened to his lectures when I visited his center at night, I think around 9 p.m. I still remember the lectures which I listened to him. Walk I had with him along with Dr. Rabindranath in the beautiful ambience of Aliyar. So I would request all of you to go and see this. Then Maharishi also spoke about Kundalini Yoga. His concept is Kundalini awakening is vital. If you have to realize consciousness, super consciousness, then you need to awaken that vital force, life force, and you should conserve, activate, energize, and move through the chakras and then bring it to the manifestation. Then you will realize the consciousness. So he always talked about life force, the critical life force, which can, if once it is awakened, you can manifest anything you desire in life. You can see God. You can be with God. God is within you. He always talks. Even the last half an hour you were listening to his some of the the discourse of Maharishi's concept was presented. You would have realized you don't have to look outwards. Look inwards. We are always looking outwards. That is why we become limited to this time, space, but go inwards. There is a tremendous wealth. God is there. Your Shakti is there. Realize that. This is what is the concept. Kundalini awakening is through this vital life force that you will be able to realize, manifest the purpose for which we are all here in this world. He also talked about holistic education because ultimately he focused on children. So that is why the Kaya Kalpa Yoga, Manabadakalai, Sky Yoga, which is being propagated by this academy, is very important. And I was fortunate to be associated when I was director of Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences and Defense Institute of Psychological Research. we carried out some studies on children who have undergone sky yoga and Manabala Kalai. So this is how do you develop your personality? Manabalam, Manabalarchi. So how do you develop your psychic powers? So this Kaya Kalpa Yoga and Manabala Kalai Sky Yoga, all this is to realize your potentials. Human potentials are infinite, immense and infinite. So how do you realize that? That is what is Manabala Kalai, Kaya Kalpa Yoga, Sky Yoga. And so we did some research. So I would, in a minute, I would talk about that, what we have done through this Sky Yoga. Then the next thing is, now we are talking about the topic consciousness 360 degrees. So as I mentioned, 360 covers, the soul is eternal. Everybody, we understand. We all understand. Bhagavad Gita says, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, why are you worried about death? Life is eternal. Your soul never gets killed. Your body in this can be killed, but not the soul. Soul is eternal, which Hindu philosophy believes. I think almost many of the religions believe in the soul is eternal. So that is the soul which is residing in this body, in this Janma, in this Janma. So when I took birth, how I was a zygote, and then I became maybe a adult, then you are reaching, now I am 72 years, I have gone around the orbit. So my age is 72. So this Atma, consciousness I have experienced all through the 72 years of in this Janma of my existence. So we always believe we are spiritual beings who have come to this world for human experience. Think for some time, not that you are human being that looking for a spiritual experience. We are all actually spiritual beings who have come to this world to have human experience. Just think, you give a new paradigm of thought. Then you will believe the Atma. Atma is pure. Atma is peaceful. Atma is powerful. So Atma is purity, power, peace. Everything is with you. You don't have to look anything outside. This is full. You are complete. You don't have to look for a recognition. Don't have to look for a wealth. You don't have, everything is in you. Just realize that. You are Parampur, Parpur Atma. That is, you are complete. You don't need anything. You don't need fame, name, everything from outside. It's all in you. So realize that. So Atma, we are all Atma. So that is why consciousness, how this Atma goes through this 360 degrees of birth, death, then again, somewhere it goes, comes back again to birth. So we are going to deliberate what is this consciousness at all the stages. When you are talking about day-to-day life, that is the topic which he is going to deliberate. This Atma has got Man, Buddhi, and Sanskar. It has got three dimensions, three parts. Man, Buddhi, and Sanskar. This is what it carries with after this consciousness during this semicircular part of this consciousness in 180 degrees. It carries this. It has got thoughts, emotions, then intellect and sanskars, the experiences. It stores. This is what goes with Atma. When it completes this semicircular consciousness state, then it carries with it the Man, Buddhi, Sanskar to the next account along with the karmic account. What you have done, the punyas, papas you have done during this existence from birth to death, that goes as a karmic account, and the bank balance goes to your next janma after you come back, when you come back. So this is what is believed as the consciousness 360 degrees. Then where does the soul go? If after death, where does it go? So it is believed there is some Atma Dham. All Atmas, when they depart from this existence of the physical body, it goes into the Atma Dham. There is a house there. There is a layer in which all Atmas reside till it gets back to the birth or merges with the universal consciousness. So there is a place for Atma when it leaves Atma Dham. Then it comes, there is God. Where is the super consciousness? That is at Paramdam. Paramdam, where is that one supreme power who has created the whole universe, the consciousness, everything. That is Paramdam. It lives in Paramdam. So you would have seen about the rebirth, Janmas. A lot of scientific evidences are there to show that there is a rebirth. Many people remember the Purva Janmas, their experiences. All this is seen. Now, in the semicircular, the half cycle of the consciousness, you have wakeful state, sleep state. In sleep state, you have dream state. Then you talk about Turiya, which is another state of consciousness, which Parameshwaran took us that experience little bit. So Turiya state. So these are the 4 states which you talk about. That is wakeful state, sleep state in which you have dream state, and then you have the Turiya, which is the union, the higher level of consciousness. So even in the semicircle, you have these 4 states of consciousness. This is what Dr. Perumal will be talking to us about, the Turiya. Now, when you say conscious, when I'm conscious about what I am talking, what I am seeing, but there is another level of your consciousness, subconscious. Subconscious is very powerful. We always look at data, information, knowledge at conscious level, but there is a quantum level of knowledge which is at the level of the spirit, of the Atma, which is the subconscious level. You should also dive deep into subconscious state if one has to develop the power of understanding the other individuals, the needs of the people, serving the society. You have to dive deep into subconscious state, and then that is where you have the intuitive decision making. Then you have a state of hypnosis. There is another state of consciousness known as hypnosis. It's a suggestive state of consciousness where your hypnotized person can be manipulated to do action. So this is a state, another state is state of hypnosis. Then when you might have seen in some of the criminal investigations, they use narcosis. They just give phenobarbital or an anesthetic, and then they dive deep into subconscious state and pick up the Johari's window of black box, which an individual would not like to present. In Johari's window, there are 4 quadrangles. The space, the black spot, they are able to dive deep in narcotic state, and then bring the investigations, the truth of what actually happened. So this is subconscious state. So why I'm telling all this, then you have to understand consciousness. It's a very complex topic, and you have to understand all these dimensions of consciousness. Now, how yogic practice, meditation can help you to achieve this higher level of conscious state. We actually have come to this world to evolve ourselves, raise our divinity, reduce our non-divinity, and then realize the true existence of yourself, the Atma. Atma's real, the existence, which is pure, blissful, peaceful, powerful. So we have to realize this. So that is why when you practice yoga, meditation, that gives you the realization of your true existence. I was fortunate to carry out some experiments in yoga. How does it help in this consciousness? And also there was a major program which Professor Desi Raju, who was the head of the Department of Neurophysiology at National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS at Bangalore. He had a major project sanctioned by DST, Department of Science and Technology, on Project Consciousness. How do you raise your consciousness level through yoga, meditation? So and also different types of meditation, transcendental meditation, the yogic meditation, dhyan. Then we also talk about Vipassana meditation. We talk about Raja Yoga meditation. So there are different types of meditation. All that, what does it look at? How do we strengthen the filters which will go into your mind, the sensory and also internal psychic inputs which goes into your cerebral cortex and mind. how do you filter and then give only the right things to go into your mind? So that is what is meditation. It cuts off all your noise and then only the signal to be amplified and then realized. So this is meditation, to realize the higher level of consciousness. So we did research on the prophylactic, promotive, and curative potentials of yoga, hatha yoga. And yoga, again, there are jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, hatha yoga. So we looked at the asanas, pranayam, and meditation. How can it help in giving a good health at this consciousness, at this level? That is, during when you are here in that semicircle, how do you provide the good health? That is the first level of consciousness. And then you have to raise from there. Once you achieve a good health, then you are elevating your evolution in terms of consciousness. So we did some experiments on functional MRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging, to see what happens when you do the meditation, particularly Raj Yoga meditation. We found the prefrontal cortex, which deals with the higher functions like this consciousness, decision making, and also extrasensory perception. And all this is there in prefrontal cortex. So this gets activated when you do high level of meditation for years. It doesn't happen just 1 day, 2 days. So even the meditation which Parameshwaran was teaching, Turiya meditation, you keep practicing it for a long time, for years, then you would also achieve that higher level of state of consciousness by activation of your prefrontal cortex of the brain. Similarly, we did Kaya Kalpa Yoga research, which is Manabalakalai, where also some experiments were done. Dr.K. Ramachandran, Director of Defense Institute of Psychological Research in DRDO, here, when I was the Chief Controller Research and Development, he was carrying out, I encouraged him to carry out this research. He has come out with so many exciting, the cognitive functions, concentration, memory, learning efficiency, how does it improve, decision making, and all this gets enhanced. So that is part of your consciousness in day-to-day life when we are talking about. So finally, I would like to end with two things. The Abhayar, the great poetess who has given us a rich wisdom, she has asked, herself, what is the purpose of creation as a human being? Then she answers, when Lord Muruga, the Kartikeyan, asks poetess, what is the most, surprising thing and also most important thing in existence as human being? Then she says, அரிது அரிது மானிடராதல் அரிது அதனினும் அரிது கூன் குருடு செவிடு பேடு நீங்கி பிறத்தல் கூன் குருடு செவிடு பேடு நீங்கி பிறந்தாலும் ஞானமும் கல்வியும் நயத்தலரிது ஞானமும் கல்வியும் நயத்தக்காலையும் தானமும் தவமும் தான் செய்தலரிது தானமும் தவமும் தான் செய்த காலையில் வானகம் திறந்து வழிவிடுமே. What does it mean? I'll give the translation because some of the people may not understand. It is very rare to be born as a human being. See, you are one of the 7 billion people who are created as human beings. So how happy you should be. The bliss you should enjoy. How grateful you should be to the Almighty who has created you in this form, human being. There are so microbes, so many pathogens, so many animals. All this, you are created as a human being with 6 senses intact. So happiness, the first level is, it's rare to be born as human being. That's the first sentence meaning. Second is, there are many people who are with deformities, physically, mentally challenged, psychologically challenged, but we are complete. So how happy you should be, how grateful you should be. So it is very rare to be born without deformities, with full faculties intact. Then it is all the more rare and important that you are educated, jnana, you achieved, you went to schools, colleges, universities, many of you. So you had the opportunity, you were blessed with the opportunity of getting knowledge and also education. How happy you should be. Then, then having done all this, what you should do? That you should give dan, dhyan. This is what is important. Giving. You should be giving all the time instead of we always want give, give, give. But they give to you, take, take, take. But instead, give, give, give. You always give love, give respect, give, give support, give a hearing to a person who is in pain. So giving can be in many ways. Give charity. So all this is giving. So if you do this dan and dhyan, every action what you do dedicated to God, whether it gives good reputation to you or not good reputation to you, dedicate that to God. So dhyan, dan, dhyan. When you do this, God's heaven will open and receive you. The gates of heaven will open and receive you. This is what is the purpose of creation as a human being. This is what is the consciousness, elevating your consciousness. So now, finally, I would like to show one important, this is a yellow card, which our honorable, the founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, keeps giving it to people whom he meets. I will read what is written. This is a very precious golden card. It is written, when God pushes somebody, inspires somebody, leads somebody, no power in the world can stop such a person. Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, the founder, president, and chairman of Amity Education Group. So when God pushes somebody, inspires somebody, leads somebody, no power in the world can stop such a person, because he would have elevated to a higher level of consciousness. He is being led, he is being guided, he is being inspired by this Almighty, which is the most powerful, the all-powerful, omnipresent, omnipowerful. So this is what is Amity University, which I now, after DRDO last 8 years, I have been serving. And in this, we have 175,000 students, 10,000 faculties, 5,000 PhD scholars, and we are here in 11 universities in India, 17 campuses abroad. And this is being transformed as future global citizens, the portal through which the future global citizens will come out to the world and who will create a new world order. And we are equipping them with knowledge, including spiritual knowledge, skills, including soft skills, behavior, good behavior, then values, sanskars, and also resilience to face challenges. So this is what we give it to our students in Amity universities and institutions. We have 28 schools, which is being looked after by Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan. So this is what is the mission. So we are propagating spiritual development as well. We are just not only giving the bookish knowledge, which is important to get CGPA and so on, but ultimately the whole human development is essential. And these people, now 2 lakh alumni are there. Every year, 1,75,000 students passing out, you can imagine. We will create a new world order, which will be seen by good health, happiness, global peace, prosperity for everyone. The consciousness, the higher level of consciousness, we will create the whole universe, the whole world. So this is the vision. So once again, thank you. I am very keenly interested to listen to Professor Dr. Perumal, the senior professor and director at Academy Aliyar. And so this is a very important topic. He's going to deliberate consciousness in day-to-day life. And also I would listen to Dr.K.K. Deepak, my old friend, and who is a great physiologist of our country. At the end, I will be listening to them. So with this, I welcome each and every one of you for this series, lecture series. 20 lectures are going to be there. So I'm sure each one of you will get the transformation in you, the Kundalini awakening in you by listening to these lectures, series of lectures. Thanks, Dr. Rabindranath, once again for this opportunity to share some of my thoughts with everyone present here. Vaalha Valamudan, Vaalha Vaiyagam. Thank you.
Vaishalamudan. Thanks, sir. It's a very great honor that you have delivered a presidential address at this event, Consciousness 360 Weekly Conclave. Once again, thank you so much, sir. Now, we are moving to the session. Consciousness cannot be accounted for in physical terms, for consciousness is absolutely fundamental. It cannot be accounted for in terms of anything else. We have seen consciousness in a few angles, 360 degree. Today, we will see the functioning of consciousness in daily life. To understand the finer aspects, I am very much pleased to invite our beloved Sky Senior Professor, Vision Director, Dr. K. Perumal, to present this evening and enlightening us with his profound knowledge and wisdom. Sir is from Dindigul. He worked as a professor in the physics department under Sri Ramakrishna Mission College, Coimbatore for 33 years. Under his guidance, 10 scholars completed PhD and 25 students completed MPhil. Around 50 papers were published in national and international journals in physics stream. Sir has also been awarded as a Best NSS Program Officer in state level. Sir got introduced to Swamiji in the year 1981 and spent his time with Swamiji actively thereafter. He became the Director of Vision during the year 2004 and currently looks after the development activities, coordination with study centers and syllabus forming for Vethathiri courses. Sir is in charge for all MPhil and PhD works in Vision Department. He is also the in charge of digital library in Aliyar. Work from home, like work out the yoga from home. The online vision classes is conducted by him with great efforts. We have such an eminent personality with us in the evening. Dear fellow meditators, Sky members, please join me in welcoming our guest of speaker today. Over to you, sir.
வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளம். Be blessed by divine, be blessed by divine. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Dear Sky members, dear brothers and sisters, today we will be discussing about the consciousness in daily life. Swamiji has described the consciousness in different meanings to the depth. So now we'll be seeing some of his definitions and discussions. The consciousness, that is nothing but the order of function in everything, everywhere. Taking from the atoms, molecules, galaxies, stars, living being, there is a perfect order of function. Moment, the activities are regulated. Or the consciousness, we can say, that is the inner truth. There is a basic truth in the universe. It exists in the form of thoughts, feeling, joy, and sorrow. For human beings, the thoughts, feelings, joy, and sorrow. But the consciousness is there everywhere, in living and non-living, everywhere. For living being, it comes in the form of thoughts, feeling, joy, and sorrow. It is the dynamic existence. Behind all these, as well as the movement of objects from the atom to the biggest heavenly sphere. Yes, atoms, molecules, everything, they are moving, correct speed. There occurs some pattern, precision, regularity. So the consciousness exists in different forms. See a small example here. You take an egg. If it is broken by external force, then the life ends there itself. But if the same is broken by the inside force, inherently, then the life begins. The great things always begin from inside. So the total consciousness available in each and every human being, it is up to us to go to that level and reach that perfection of the total consciousness, for which Swamiji has given the route, given the path, shown the path. Let us follow him. By following his footprints, I am sure we all can reach the total consciousness, what he has achieved, what he has enjoyed. Generally, consciousness begins. In the philosophy of life, Swamiji will be discussing different aspects for the philosophy of life. There he discusses the development of the consciousness, mainly the 3 steps of the consciousness: the faith, understanding, and the perfection. So this is for the human being. So first we believe the parents and the elders, and we follow some of the rituals, what they show, in which we start developing our consciousness. Then when we grow, we try to understand each and everything. We ask the questions, why, what, when, how. We try to understand the happenings around us. Then we conclude, these are the good effects. This is the way in which we should lead the life. Finally, we reach the perfection. So first we begin with the Bhakti Yoga, in which we believe the elders, the parents, the teachers, and the masters, the guru. Then we try to understand. There comes the Jnana Yoga. We try to understand each and everything. Then finally, the guidance of the guru and the elders, we reach that perfection. So that's the end of the Jnana Yoga. The cause and effect, you see, for human life, the cause and effect is an important phenomena. We should understand, we should follow that. Then only we can have a harmonious life. Generally, for all the troubles or problems coming in the life, we don't understand the cause and effect. And we are not giving the much importance for the cause and effect. We follow our own way. Even though our elders and the wise persons like Swamiji has given a lot of details about that, we are not going to that. That's why all the sufferings are coming here. And Swamiji has given that cause and effect system in a nice way so that anybody can understand it. Any action as a result. By Newton's third law, we say action and reaction are equal and opposite. This is not only for the material objects. It governs the living being also. So whatever we do, the thought, word, and deed, they have the result followed by that. So that means the justice of divinity without error. It comes, whatever you do, accordingly that effect will be there. If you do good, you'll be enjoying. Knowingly or unknowingly, if you disturb somebody else, you are to suffer. Nobody else can rescue it. The cause and effect as natural justice will not change. When it is neglected out of ignorance, negligence, intentions, or passion, exact consequence follows, known as consequence justice. பிறர்க்குன்னா முற்பகச் செய்யின் தமக்குன்னா பிற்பகர் தாமே வரும். நம்ம ஒன்றும் அவாய்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. யாருக்கு நம்ம துன்பம் செஞ்சோமோ அந்த துன்பத்தை நம்ம அனுபவிச்சுதான் ஆகணும். அதே மாதிரி யாருக்கெல்லாம் நன்மை செய்யறோமோ அதையும் நம்ம அனுபவிக்கணும். The divine energy comes as consequence of actions. So Swamiji has given a very good example for balance, example how that cause and effect works. So generally we people, sometimes we become angry with the God itself. Oh God, I'm doing so many services, so many wonderful things. You are punishing me continuously. At the same time, my neighbor, he commits all kinds of mistakes. He disturbs society, but he enjoys the life. Is it right? In that way, we start blaming the God itself. But you see here, you take a balance, common balance. When you go to the shop, suppose if you want to ask 1 kilogram of dal, then they will have a balance. One side, they will put a 1 kilogram weight, then the other side, they will put the dal. Okay. What happens? Suppose the shopkeeper, he is putting that, it comes to 950 grams. What will happen? In the pan with the weight, that will be down. The pan with the dal, that will be up. When it will become equal? Only when it receives another 50 gram and it makes 1,000 gram, that is 1 kilogram. So you take this example. You are suffering a lot. You start blaming the God, you start blaming all the people. I am good, I am doing only the good, but why I am suffering? Yes, this answer given by Swamiji. You are doing good things. All your good imprints, they are something equivalent to 950 grams. You need some 50 grams. Once you fill up the 50 grams, then you will start enjoying all the benefits. You just wait for some more time and do some more good activities by which you will gain the 50 grams. It's an example. Once you reach the 1,000, automatically you will start enjoying all the benefits. Similarly, you see some people, they're committing all kinds of mistakes. They disturb the society, but they enjoy the life. Enjoy the life. You can see the politicians and the bureaucrats. They disturb the society, but the corruption, everything, but they enjoy the life. You don't worry about that. There is also the same balance story will help you there. They have stored 950 grams of sin imprints. They need another 50. Once the rest of the 50 comes there, then the sufferings will start there. If it comes during the midday, immediately they will be arrested, they will be put in the jail. We are seeing that story happening continuously. So therefore, the cause and effect system works perfectly. Nobody can cheat it. If your thought, word, and deed are right, you will enjoy. Knowingly, unknowingly, if they are having any unwanted things, depending upon that, you would suffer. Nobody can come out of that. God decides perfectly. We can do the activities, but the result that is decided by the God, by the divinity, that we got to accept. Without understanding the cause and effect. So today, all the people all over the world, they are suffering. They do the mistakes. They think they can cheat somebody else, they can manage. No, nobody can manage. God is looking at, seeing it, recording everything, and one day their sufferings will be coming there. The state of consciousness in matter generally Swamiji classifies as pattern, precision, regularity. This pattern, precision, regularity is common for the non-living thing and the living things. Pattern. Suppose we sow a seed and water it. It sprouts, then stem, leaf, flower, and fruit appear. So this is a repetition of the mother plant. The shape or structure is known as the pattern. Yeah, slowly it comes one by one, one by one, one by one. And finally, it may become a big tree. So that's the pattern. What is there stored in the seed that slowly comes out. So this is for a plant. Similarly, you take an atom or a molecule. The atom and the molecules are nothing but the association of electrons, protons, and the neutrons. These electrons, protons, they arrange in a pattern, specific pattern. They maintain a distance. They spin, they orbit. So there is a pattern, there is a shape, there is size remaining there. Then coming to the precision, the characteristic of the exactness without the slightest change of leaf, flower, fruit, and so on is called the precision, the exactness. Yes. Suppose if you put a mango seed, the mango plant will be coming there and it will become a mango tree. If you put a bitter gourd seed, then the bitter gourd plant will be coming there. Similarly, whatever it comes, the same pattern will be coming there. Same thing will be coming there. So the same characters, that will be reflected. The exactness will be there. In a tree, you can see the leaf, flower, fruit, everything. That depends upon the seed. Similarly, you say, take the solar system. Solar system, all the planets, starting from the Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. There is a specific distance between the sun and the planets. They are maintained. Even though there may be a slight change, the change is also precisely maintained. So there occurs precision each and every activity, each and every movement, even it may be animate or inanimate. That is the consciousness, total consciousness. Regularity. Again, let's come here. You take a rare plant, grows in a particular season, depending on the position of stars, the sun and its planets. The flowering too is seasonal. This timing of events is known as regularity. Thus, maintaining the timing, that order, the spinning, that revolution, that growth in different steps, depending upon it. For a living being, even though we have our own freedom of doing the things, we are controlled by the planets, stars, and the universal magnetism. Depending upon that, our biomagnetism will react. So there occurs some regularity. The timing is maintained. So that we generally call as the regularity. Maintaining the period, the timing. So for living being, we have another three. That's a cognition, experience, and a discrimination. What do you mean by cognition? When an object is seen, the rays from the eyes are blocked by it. This blocking is in terms of its measure and shape according to its nature. This is known as cognition. We are perceiving through our senses, the skin, the tongue, the nose, eyes, and the ear, through which we receive the informations. The information is going to the brain. It analyzes. So this activity in general we call as the cognition. Then experience, the amount of magnetic energy that emanates from the body at the time of seeing determines joy, sorrow, peace, or bliss. That is the experiences. So when we are using your senses, the skin, the tongue, the nose, eyes, ears, how much the magnetic energy you receive, how much the magnetic energy you spend at the time of with the enjoyment. So that is the experience, the amount of energy that emanates from the body, particularly from the senses. Then coming to the discrimination. Though a mango, pineapple, guava are sweet, we differentiate among them. So that is the discrimination. The same activity done by different people, the result will be different. The same sweetness in different fruits, they're different. So that we can feel it. That is the discrimination. So therefore, for living beings, the additional faculties, cognition, experience, and discrimination, they work here. But for non-living things, only the pattern, precision, and regularity. When coming to the living being, the biomagnetism, that is the energy which are coming out from the living being, that we call the biomagnetism. The life force which is circulating throughout the body, this life force which causes the magnetism, and in living beings we call the energy liberated, that we call as the biomagnetism. Our thought waves, or all our mental activity, they are all due to the biomagnetism. The biomagnetic force, while passing through the sensory organs, 5 senses are experienced. Yeah. When the biomagnetism, when they are coming out through the senses, the skin, we get a pressure, the feeling of pressure. Through the tongue, we get the taste. Through the nose, smell. Through the eyes, then the sight. Then through the ears, we hear. So the pressure, the taste, smell, the light, and the sound. So they're all felt through the senses. The biomagnetic force passing through the sensory organs, the 5 senses are experienced. Then, while passing through the brain, functions as mind, which perceives the 5 senses. The same biomagnetic energy, when it comes through the brain, then the thought waves are coming there. Different types of thought waves. Either it may be emotional or it may be spiritual. So all those, the energy, biomagnetic energy coming out of the brain. So in total, we could call the mind is nothing but the biomagnetic expansion through the senses and through the mind. And the biomagnetic energy expands through the senses, there's a feeling coming there. The same biometric energy expands through the brain, then you call it the thought wave. Put together, you call that as a mind. Actually, what are the functions of the mind? The mind generally compresses, stores everything in a miniature form as imprints. Through the senses, we receive the inputs. The senses are our input devices. And the computer is, say, the keyboard, the mouse are said to be the input devices. Similarly, for human being, for the structure, all the 5 senses are the input devices. Through them, we receive so many inputs, so many data. So all of these data are stored in the mind, in the genetic center. So the mind compresses and stores everything in a miniature form as imprints. Then later on, the stored message, they are again coming to the mind and it expands. They become the thought waves. So that expands them in full forms as thoughts. So this is the way the data are stored and again it is expanded. Suppose, let us see, we are seeing a cow. While looking at a cow, light waves from the cow converge into a miniature form in the eyes and get imprinted as a dot in the brain and stored. You are seeing the big cow that may be 4 or 5 feet length and 3 to 4 feet height. You are seeing the entire cow. But when it comes to your eyes, a miniature image will be there. When it goes to the brain, a small dot, a magnetic dot imprint will be there. So then it goes to the brain and the genetic center also. So depending upon the image form, your biomagnetism, your storage capacity, your character, attitude, everything will have some small change occurring there. Similarly, through the senses, we stored a lot of data, lot of images every day. Then again, the message or the data, that will be coming out. When the same frequency comes there, when the same environment comes there, when required, the imprint is retrieved and manifests as thoughts. So they come as the thought waves. When the same frequency, when the same environment comes there, the stored data are again coming out through the brain as the thought waves. So that's the expanded manifestation. So now let's come to some important aspects. That is the functional levels of the mind. There are 5 kosas around us. The mind expands in 5 forms. First, let us see the Annamaya kosa. The mind acts to fulfill the needs of the body. We are very much limited to the body senses, body pleasures. May, vai, kan, mooku, sevi. Adan moola anuvaikudi invented. That is the skin, the tongue, the nose, eyes, and the ear. So through which we enjoy. And when you're concentrating more only on that, we are not going to any other thing. Then it's Annamaya kosa. Generally, everybody we need a little, but it should not be the wholesome product. When we are hungry, we go to eat. When we are thirsty, we go to drink water. Yes, that much this Annamaya kosa which can be maintained. But always thinking about eating, thinking about drinking, thinking about our enjoyment, then the mind cannot expand further. It cannot go and do the very good activities. So limited to the body level, then that is called as the Annamaya kosa. Almost all the animals, most probably, they'll be dwelling, they'll be living with that attitude because they don't have any other thing. They don't have any other creativeness or innovativeness. They cannot use their brain for development of the intelligence. It's very much limited. Similarly, the human being, they are also limited if they adapt themselves with the Annamaya kosa. Then Manomaya kosa. Yes, you think of what happened earlier, what will happen in future. And through your mind, you have an imagination. The mind is engaged in the reflection of habitual and emotional thoughts and keep on doing some action. That is Manomaya kosa. Through the mind, you are imagining You are assuming, maybe positive or maybe negative. Through the mind, you can enjoy or suffer. So that is the Manomaya Kosa. It is common for animals also and human beings also. So the Annamaya Kosa and the Manomaya Kosa are common for the animals and the human. Animals do have sufferings, they do have some enjoyments. So it's much related to your mind. Okay. Next, Pranamaya Kosa. The mind shrinks within the life force. It's a condition of self-realization. Only the human being, we have that Pranamaya Kosa. The animals, they don't have that. They cannot concentrate. They cannot meditate. They cannot pray. They cannot improve their intelligence or the consciousness. Only we, the human beings, we have that Pranamaya Kosa, where the mind shrinks and it reaches to the level of the life force. If it goes deep and deep, you can realize yourself, the law of the nature, entire cosmos, even beyond the cosmos, we can realize. So that concentration, that focusing the mind, that the Pranamaya Kosa. All types of meditations, all types of prayers, chanting mantras, everything that is the Pranamaya Kosa, in which we are deriving the benefits. Then Vijnanamaya Kosa. All the scientists, the philosophers, they're all working with it. So intuitively, they can get so many informations about the universe, about the living beings. The mind expands to understand harmonious relationship between the body and the life force, the atom, planets, stars, the universe. Yeah, you can understand the movement of the atoms, how the electrons, protons are formed, how they associate, how the molecules are formed, how the 5 physical elements are formed, how the living beings are formed. Everything you can analyze and come to some conclusion. That is Vijnanamaya Kosa. See, about the former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, what his contributions a lot for the society. He was a very good scientist. And similarly, so many scientists are there here in the world. They do a wonderful job because of their invention, of their dedicated work. Now the world enjoys all the benefits. All the people, they enjoy the science and technology. So that is Vijnanamaya Kosa. Anandamaya Kosa. Mind stops all its functions and realizes the truth. Generally, the mind is always wavering, going here and there. Daily stuck up with so many problems, unable to find some of the solutions for the problems. But here, when you meditate, or when you have a positive thoughts, and the divine feeling comes to you, where the mind almost stops its functions, and it becomes the ultimate truth. It can understand the ultimate truth. Anandamaya Kosa. So there, the blissful state, the ecstasy that we can enjoy. Anybody can do that. For which the purity of thought, the purity of genetic center. Anybody can achieve that one. That is Anandamaya Kosa. Swamiji gives that to everybody during the Duryodhana meditation. When you go to the different level, finally when you merge your mind with Almighty or the space and remain there without any thought, without any movement, then the mind stops all its functions and realizes the ultimate truth. You are the divinity. A divinity and you are one and the same. You are the infinite force and you are the infinite consciousness that can be felt at that time. That is the Anandamaya Kosa. Then we can classify the consciousness into another 3 types. That is the peripheral consciousness, subconscious, and superconsciousness. In that way, we can classify into 3 types. The peripheral consciousness, generally we do it with our Jnanendriya and Karmendriyas. What do you mean by jnanendriyas? The five senses, the skin, the tongue, the nose, eyes, and the ears. We say this is a jnanendriya, through which only we receive all the valuable inputs from the society, from the universe, from the nature. They are responsible for us to improve our wisdom. So that is jnanendriyas. Karmendriyas, some of the systems in our body, they help us to do the activities. The hand, the leg, the mouth, and the genital organs. They are helpful for all our activities. So they are said to be the karmendriyas. So generally, when we operate with the jnanendriya and karmendriya, they are in the peripheral level. So that is the conscious mind by which we are doing that. Then the subconscious mind. You are not moving, you are not doing anything, but your mind, which has stored a lot of imprints in the brain cells, that imprints will be coming in a particular frequency at the same environment in which it has been imprinted. A lot of things are there. All our experiences are stored in the subconscious mind. From the birth up to this time, all our imprints and received earlier also, all these imprints are there in the subconscious mind. Okay, then superconscious mind. So we have a lot of things starting from the absolute space, how it evolved. The first particle form, the formation of elements, formation of the Panchapuras, formation of the planets, stars, galaxies, and the creation of living beings from 1 sense to 5 sense, then 6 sense human being up to this time. All these informations are stored in the genetic center. As a small dot, the informations are there. So that is a super conscious mind. It has all the secrets of the universe. So now we are searching the secrets through the internet, through the books, through the library. Okay. But all the secrets are there within your genetic center. So that we call as a super consciousness. You have everything. The super conscious mind, which has all the secrets of the universe. See, that can be explained as you see the iceberg floating in the sea. What is floating there? It's only a small portion. What is there inside that water? It's the great force. So that conscious mind is only a fraction of the total one. A lot of things remain inside. So the conscious mind that is responsible for developing the languages, the manners, the institutions in which we are, the arts, the different types of the techniques we develop, religion, dress, food, rituals, customs, and traditions. All these things are governed by the peripheral consciousness or the conscious mind, we can say that. Then coming to the subconscious mind, the information stored in the brain, the beliefs, ideals, norms, concepts, and the roles. So subconscious mind, the beliefs are there, the ideals are there, the norms are there. Yes, it is there, but we are not using it frequently. Generally, we operate with the conscious mind. And we go rarely to the subconscious mind, but the data are there, the values are there, the norms and the ideals are there in subconscious mind. Then coming to that superconscious mind, yeah, all the values, desires, assumptions, the tastes and the attitudes. Superconscious mind, it possesses a lot of data. Most probably we are not going there. Only the rishis, mahans, seeds, they go search for it and take a lot of things from there. All the secrets of the universe are there in the superconscious mind. Normal people, we are emotional. We mostly operate with the conscious mind, rarely go for the subconscious mind. We never go to that superconscious mind. But there is a possibility we can go there. Samaji has given different techniques, particularly the different types of meditation, by which anyone who tries for it, they can go, reach, enjoy the benefits. You see, again, you see the image, only a fraction of the mind we use there. That we call subconscious mind. Lot of things, they remain hidden, they remain latent. We are not using that mind. But the jnanis and the Mahat, the seers, Maharishi-like people, they use the entire consciousness. That's why they achieve that total perfection, total consciousness, enjoy that blissful state. And we know that the conscious development, 10 conscious stages of mind: the sensation, need, zeal, action, result, enjoyment, experience, research, realization, and conclusion. When we are hungry, we need some food. So that's sensation. We need food. Need, necessity comes there. Then we try for it. There's a zeal. Action, we eat. That is action. The result. So we enjoy, and the hunger is over. Enjoyment during that eating, you enjoy the food. You taste the food. You smell, enjoy that. Okay, then everything is stored in your brain and your cells, and you compare with it. That is the experience. Research, you analyze, right or wrong. This is enough or you need. That way you make a research analysis. Then realization. You come to the, so this is right. These are the things about yourself, about the nature. Then you come to some final decisions, realization. All the truths are revealed to you. When you go deep and analyze everything, you get all the truths. Then finally you conclude, yeah, these are the ways in which our behavior pattern, our activities, our thought, word, and deed, everything should be there. So that is the final conclusion. Similarly, the mind acts in 10 stages. So this is common for all the human beings. Generally, depending upon our activity, the mental frequency, they are differing. There's a beta wave, alpha wave, theta wave, and delta wave. In the emotional stage, and we are with the frequency 14 to 40 cycles per second. The anger, the worry, frustration, tension, everything, they are the beta state. Mostly, almost most of the people, they live in the emotional state, beta waves. Then comes the alpha wave, that is 8 to 30. So that is the place where we can concentrate, where we can focus our mind, where we can do some good activities. So that's a peaceful state. So this comes to everybody when they chant mantras, when they do some prayers, when they meditate. In our sky yoga, simplified Kundalini yoga, whenever you do the Agna or Duriya meditation, you come to the stage automatically. So there's a technique Swamiji has given. Anybody who tries for it, who reminds, he keeps the mind at the Agna or Duriya chakra, immediately they will come to that alpha wave, peaceful state. So this is a state in which a student can read and write. This is a state in which he can learn, he can memorize all the good activities of the human being. This begin from this. Then the theta wave. So that merges with the universe. You can understand the universal secrets. This is the place where all the scientists are working here. All the innovations or creations are coming here at this frequency. There's a theta wave. When you do the Duryadi, the meditation, in the universal field, when your mind merges with the universe, you get that frequency, theta wave. There is 4 cycles per second, 7 cycles per second, merging with the universe. All the innovations, all the creations are coming here. Almost all scientists, they are in this field. All the philosophers, anybody who thinks deeply, anybody who meditates deeply, they will reach the state. The secrets of the universe, the atoms, molecules, the movements, stars, galaxies, even the living beings, how they are formed, the evolution process, all the scientific science and technology, the details about that, the innovations about that, everything will be coming here in this frequency 47. That's we call it the theta wave. Then delta wave. That is a frequency where the mind merges with the Almighty. No more mind activity, no more movement of the mind, no more thoughts you are getting there. But you are enjoying that blissful state. That ecstasy will come to you. That's a delta wave. Almost all the Mahans, the seers, they remain at this frequency delta wave. They remain for any length of time. Even some of them, they don't like to come back to the normal life. They want to remain in that frequency delta wave. Anybody can reach that. There is a frequency at which all our sin imprints will get dissolved in the space. Thus, you merge your mind with the absolute space, and you are the divinity, and divinity are you. There is no difference between you and the God. Merging with Almighty, anybody can reach that. Now you see that frequency coming down in different ways. And now you can relate the different kosas to the frequency also. Normally in the Annamaya kosa and the Manomaya kosa, we remain in the beta wave, that is 14 to 40 cycles per second. Annamaya kosa, mostly elevated. And the Manomaya kosa also, beta wave, 14 to 40 cycles per second. Then whenever you meditate, whenever you chant mantras, then now focusing, concentration comes here, and you come here to the alpha wave. That is the pranamaya kosa. It's a wonderful thing. Anybody can enjoy that. All the deep meditation starts from here, pranamaya kosa. The mind shrinks to the life force level. Then the theta wave, the vijnanamaya kosa. That's in the theta wave, as already mentioned. Then the delta wave, anandamaya kosa. So beta wave, that governs the annamaya kosa and manomaya kosa. And alpha wave, that is for the pranamaya kosa. Whenever you start meditating, you start chanting mantras or any prayer, that brings you here. The theta wave, that is the vijnanamaya kosa. And delta wave, anandamaya kosa. When you remain at the delta wave, you enjoy that blissful state. And we receive imprints. So many imprints we receive through the senses, through our parents. In day-to-day activities we receive. Each experience is perceived at a particular frequency. Yeah, generally we are operating for a frequency 1 to 40, generally, beta, alpha, theta, delta. You do the activities at different frequencies, and they are recorded at the frequencies. Imprints of that experience is stored in that frequency. What is the frequency at which the imprints goes there? It is stored at the frequency. Whenever the mental state reaches that frequency, the experience stored at that frequency are retrieved and exhibited in thoughts. Yeah. The same frequency, the thoughts will be coming again. The same mental state, the experience stored at this frequency are retrieved and exhibited into thoughts. So this is the way the compressing and recording in the brain and the expanding as thought waves, they are coming here. Depending upon the imprint stored here, we see three kinds of karma: sanchita, prarabdha, akami karma. The imprints that are available at the time of birth and inherited from parents, that's said to be the sanchita karma. Sanchita means bag. We have bags of imprints. When you go and see the back of ours, you can see the back of our father, our grandfather. Similarly, it will be going on there. All the bags of imprints will be there, put one in other, in that way it will be there. Suppose if you peel off an onion, slowly everything will be coming there. Finally, you will get nothing. All these are packed. Similarly, our Sanjita Karma consists of all our imprints, father, grandfather. In that way, it goes up to the animal kingdom, then 5 cents, 4 cents, 3, 2, 1. Then after the evolution of the universe starts from the absolute space, and up to this time, all the data are stored. That is the Sanchita Karma. Then coming to the Prarabdha Karma, the imprints created by your own actions and embossed and the existing imprints. From our birth to this time, what happened? Everything is stored in the brain. Everything is with us. Generally, our brain becomes active after the age of 3. Then all the messages are stored there. Before what happened at the age of 1 or 1.5, we may not be able to remember that. So only after the age of 3, everything is recorded and we can remember that. So all the activities, what you have done, they are stored. That is called as the Prarabdha Karma. Then Akamiya Karma. What we are going to do in future. We are ready to do that. That is the Akamiya Karma. Akamiya. The soul likes to test, likes to do the particular things. That is Akamiyam. Anma Kamiyam. Akamiyam. Karma, activity. Based on these two karmas, deeds are performed in future. Generally, if you are not aware of that, depending upon the Sanchita Karma and the Prarabdha Karma, our activities will be going on. But if you are aware of that, if you understand the law of the nature and the truth behind it, and follow the wise persons, we can change the Akami Karma. We have the liberty to change the Akami Karma. But Prarabdha Karma and Sanchita Karma, we cannot do anything with it. It happened accordingly, either sufferings or the joy will be coming there. But Akami Karma is in our hand. We can change, we can do that. We have not started anything there. It has 0 data. Prarabdha Karma, it has some data. From the birth up to this time, we have the data. Sanchita Karma, it has infinite data. Infinite data, starting with the absolute space. Up to this time, all are there in the Sanchita Karma. It has infinite data. Prarabdha Karma, data from the birth to this time, we have the data. And Akami Karma, yet to start, yet to begin. We have the liberty to change. Thought, word, and deed, everything can be corrected. Everything can be purified. All our activities can be streamlined. We have the liberty, we have the freedom to change the Akami Karma. Exercises to rejuvenate the mind. By constant practice, it is possible for any person to reorient his senses towards perfection. Yes, by constant practice, whatever be the sin imprints stored in the brain, sin imprints stored in the genetic center, by constant practice, we can make it perfect. We can remove all the unwanted things. We can enrich it with good imprints. Any person of any habits, any level, by constant practice, it is possible to reorient. That's why our Mahans, Vethathiri Bhagrasi like persons, they've given the techniques, they've given the ideas, they've given the training. Anybody who practices sincerely, surely they can reach them. The exercises to acute mind. Meditation, prayer, yoga, worship, introspection, and self-realization or self-actualization. So these are all the ways in which anybody can elevate himself to a higher level, to a higher platform, for which only the human birth has been given to us. It is not only just for sensual enjoyment. We should reach the ultimate truth. We should understand the ultimate truth. Anybody can achieve that. What are the ways? Yes, by meditation. Somebody has given 9 types of meditations. They all will be very much helpful. Then the prayer, for common man, any prayer will be helpful. Yoga, worship, introspection. Yes, meditation, the introspection that helps you to realize yourself. That makes you to that realization. So these are all the ways in which you can realize the law of the nature. You can understand and reach that perfection. The concept, that is the importance of the meditation. The meditation reduces the mental frequency and ensures mental health. Whenever we start meditation, generally in sky meditation, we have Agna, Duriyam, Duriyadidam. So during that Agna and Duriyam meditation, we go to the alpha level. So generally we are operating at the beta level, 40 to 40 cycles. Whenever we sit for meditation, during the Agna and Duriyam, we come to the alpha level. In Duriyadidam meditation, merging the mind with the universal field and with the absolute space, then it comes to the theta level and the delta level. So by meditation, we can tune our mind to the subtle frequency, and finally we can reach that ultimate truth. It's important to regulate the thought process. Yes, when you go to the different levels, you will get only the good thoughts. The unwanted thoughts will not be coming there. The disturbing thoughts will not be coming there. In the case of that alpha, theta level and the delta level, only the good thoughts will be there. The aim of life is a release of truth. The truth can be, ultimate truth can be analyzed and achieved by the meditation. It's the only way to attain it. Yes, all kinds of significance can be completely erased from the mind, erased from the genetic center, and enjoy the blissful state that can be achieved only by the meditation, followed by the introspection. The necessary things to attain the truth is doing meditation and the Kayakalpa practice. What are all given in the sky system, the exercise, Kayakalpa, meditation, introspection, they all will help you to reach that perfection. Thus, attain life force and the mental health. Yeah, you can enjoy the physical health, mental health. So we can be active physically, mentally. At the same time, the perfection will be achieved. Yes, this is the way in which Swamiji gives the consciousness in daily life. Anybody who tries for it, they can achieve the perfection. If you're not trying for it, if you're not concentrating your mind, it oscillates, it vibrates, it wavers and disturbs the rhythm of the life. And we become the source of disturbance to the society. But the same human being, they can get converted into the mode of enjoyment, harmonious time. Yes. A small example we can take. In a family, there are two sons in a family. The father, the mother, and the two sons are there. The two sons are growing. The father is a drunkard. Every day he drinks, spends a lot of money, and wastes all the wealth coming from the parents. He is not going to the job also. With a meager income coming there, he leads the family. The children are suffering. The elder son, he is always with the father, and he is always goes with the father. He even later on started drinking along with the father also. And later on, after the death of the father, the elder son continues the same pattern, and he suffers throughout the life. The younger son, and he also sees the activities of the father. He learns the lessons from the father. Father is a drunkard. Because of it, he has spoiled his health. He has disturbed the family. We are all suffering because of him. So those activities should not be repeated. So I will be completely out of those activities. In that way, he has taken that. Then after some time, some third person, he comes and asks both the brothers, what happened to you? Why are you suffering? Why are you enjoying? The first brother, he says, my father is responsible for everything. Because of his habits, I also followed the same. I am now suffering. The first son says. The second son, the younger son, he says, for my comfortable life also, my father is responsible. Yes, he is responsible for my comfortable life. How? I have seen his mistakes. I have learned the lesson. I have confirmed myself I should not repeat the same activities done by the father, because he has suffered and he has died because of the unwanted things he committed to the life. So I didn't commit any mistakes done by the father. Instead of that, I changed everything to suit the modern world. So I am now enjoying. I have completed my studies. I am going for the job. I am earning. I am having a harmonious family. I am enjoying. The same experience for the two sons. One says he is spoiled by the father. Another says he is helped by the father. Because of that, he has understood the reality and he is leading a comfortable life. Similarly, in the world, we'll be having different types of influence, different types of experience. It is for us to analyze and take the good imprints. If we take the good imprints and implement the good imprints in the life, we will be always happy. Nobody can prevent our happiness. Because whatever we do, accordingly, the God gives the result. Result is a confirmed one, but activity we can do it. We have the liberty to do the activities. Once we do the activity, the result will be coming according to the law of the nature. Nobody can change the result, but we have that experience. Next time when we do that, we can change that activity. That is a liberty given to us. So, as like a second step, we can learn the lessons from the society and avoid all the unwanted things with the experience and change the positive imprints and do only the good activities, thought, word, and deed. Everything should be positive, and it should help us, our family, and the society. Then we can have a harmonious life. Yes, we can enjoy the life. The consciousness in the daily life. And when we meditate, when we follow the rituals given by our elders, and when we form a systematic life, when we do the meditation regularly, introspection regularly, surely we can have a harmonious life. So this life is for enjoyment. This life is for analyzing. This life is for realizing the nature. Yes, we can do it. We can achieve it. We all can achieve it just by following the footsteps of the Vedhathiri Maharishi. Samaji has given everything in detail, in depth. Anybody who follows that, they enjoy the life. Even now, we are all afraid of the corona and all other diseases. Why? The immunity level is low. Anybody who practices our exercises, Kayakalpa, meditation, they need not be afraid of any disease, not only the corona, any disease, because the body improves, the immunity improves. Such a wonderful technique Samaji has given to us. We all can follow it. We all can enjoy that. We can learn this art of Kundalini Yoga through different means. You can come and learn at the Aliyar training center. It's available here. Then you can learn the different centers. We have some 400 branches throughout the world, 2,000 sub-centers, 16,000 masters are there to teach. And besides that, now we have started the online course also. Through that online course also, you can learn and enjoy all the benefits. Yes. So with that, I conclude this. The consciousness in daily life, we can improve the consciousness and we can reach the total consciousness and enjoy the blissful state and the ecstasy. It is possible. It is possible. Seigadabam, Seigadabam, Nannanje, Eida Vendidelam, Idalam. Please do the meditation, do the introspection. You can enjoy all the benefits of the life. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, wisdom, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, wisdom, and peace.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. Thanks, Ayya, for your delightful speech on the consciousness in daily life. On behalf of all the listeners, we thank you so much for your powerful and soul-reaching speech, Ayya. Now, we would like to invite Dr.K.K. Deepak, MD, PhD, FAMS, DSc, Professor and Head Department of Physiology AIIMS, New Delhi for the concluding speech. He did MBBS from GMC Bhopal, PG and PhD from AIIMS, New Delhi, serving as faculty in the Department of Physiology since 1987. Awarded DSc degree from S. Vyasa University from Bengaluru. Dr. Deepak has led the team to develop indigenous software for qualification of autonomic tone by HRV and vascular tone by blood pressure variability, BPV. His team has developed a cloud-based program for centralized HRV system for India. He has been instrumental in innovations in medical research at IITs and several engineering institutions. He has worked on brain stimulation by using Bengal stimulation and yogic breathing. He is pursuing research in the field of yoga and meditation and its clinical application. He is also investigating the role of yogic manuals for their application during space and gravitational exposure. He delivered talks at Harvard Medical School and UCSD San Diego. He has published 136 full-length indexed research papers which have 2200 plus citation with H index of 24 in Google Scholars. We are very happy to have you here today, sir. Be blessed by the divine. Over to you, sir.
Deepak, please unmute the mic.
Good evening to all. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for inviting me. And thank you very much for enlightening talk by Dr. Perumal. And it was so delightful to listen to Consciousness 360 degree. And it actually has touched the hearts of so many people, including myself. Myself have been involved in yoga and meditation and various type of experiments for a long time now. By listening to the talk by Sri Perumalji, it was very enlightening. He talked in the beginning how the energies are present in universe and how energies are transmitted through the receptors to the conscious level through the reception in the human body. And therefore we become aware of the things. We become aware of the things, we remember things, and through 5 senses. He also talked about how the development has taken place and how evolution has taken place. Like a child remembers from 3 years old and then he goes on remembering those things. But what nice thing he talked about the cognition. Once you have energy in your system and since you are awake and through the various senses, you get conscious of the things and how the consciousness and cognitions are important. They are interlinked and beautifully they give you the knowledge. And from there, he talked about the Panch Koshas. The Panch Koshas are very, very important. And when I take a talk for undergraduate level, we have two talks for undergraduate level for MBBS. And on one of the talks, I talk about Panch Koshas because these are very important, evolutionary, important concept in Indian system, Indian philosophy, which actually can lead the life towards happiness, towards attaining the bliss. And it beautifully described the physical body, Anandamaya course, the physiological body, the Manomaya course, the psychological body, the meditation aspect, through which you get the wisdom of Param Gyan or Vijnanman course, Vignan course, and also achieving bliss of Param Sukh through Anandamaya course. Therefore, these 5 koshas actually give you a understanding of a human behavior, understanding of human evolution, and how one person achieves those kind of a from just being an animalistic to be a kind of a supreme, achieving a supreme consciousness or bliss. And that's how the bliss has been defined by various means. So it's a beautiful exposition, beautiful description which he gave to us for our understanding. Then he talked about the 3 levels of consciousness and beautifully took us to the journey towards the supreme consciousness. Therefore, we can understand how do you define supreme consciousness, which has been defined in literature at so many places. Even in Gita, you will find how the Param Yogi or Yogi has been defined, how he feels, how he has senses, and how he actually reacts. So the beautiful thing which he started to begin with, cause-effect relationship, has got reflected throughout at all levels. And that's a beautiful understanding. There's a cause and an effect, and you cannot get away from the results if you perform some karma or some work. You may be unconscious, you may be not aware of it, you may be ignorant. However, the cause-effect relationship will happen. And through the development, it may happen, pass through the ages, and therefore it may reflect in terms of the 3 karmas, which he beautifully described, coming to the present when you remember, or not the past, which you may not remember, but may still be there. As a physiologist, I'm aware of the brain has a large number of cells, and we are only aware of the functioning of the few cells, and therefore we are not aware of this. Recently, we have performed a study on Yoga Nidra. The study has been accepted in IGMR, where we conclusively shown that on the brain, in the frontal aspect, that the delta decreases. On central aspect, the delta increases. On occipital aspect, the alpha goes down when you attain a Yoga Nidra. The Yoga Nidra, you're consciously aware, it's an awake full sleep. And perhaps somewhere along that, this is the one thing which you can attain, people can attain, slowing down the frequencies from very high frequency for 40 hertz coming to delta and this thing. These have been described in various stages, but this is the one study which we recently concluded about 2 years ago, and now it has been accepted for publication purpose. So therefore, when he described, gave a very good idea how cause-effect relationship, how the concept of koshas and consciousness can be applied to the daily life. And he went to the 360-degree description, starting from Sanchita Karma, from where it comes to the present, from Prarabdha, and then to the present when we remember and we all do it. So with that, give beautiful examples to translate into the daily life. And that's a beautiful thing for the Indian philosophy. Once you understand, you can do that. Some part of it, or maybe say some part of it, has been verified by science and science experimentation, but several other yet need to be verified. So I always encourage youngsters, I always give our life force in order to verify and give. And so far as application is concerned, yes, certainly by habit, by doing habit, it becomes a behavior, and that's why it becomes a permanent. So the human body and human mind is beautiful that you can control yourself. The moment you control yourself, you think by reflection, by doing meditation, or you get a thought that you want to change yourself, you can think and then you can change yourself. Once you put in a habit, it becomes behavior, and that's a permanent. Therefore, he gave an example of 2 sons of a father who used to drink, and then how things have changed in the shape of life. The 2 can be different. So once again, I'm thankful to conclude this session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the philosophy of it. I also enjoyed the physiology of it, how this whole knowledge can be applied for the upliftment of human being, for leveling, increasing the level of consciousness and attaining the happiness and bliss. And that's what the human life is meant for. So thank you very much once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Be blessed by the divine. Excellent conclusion. Thanks, Dr. K.K. Deepak. Now, we will post the link for the feedback form in the Zoom chat box. Kindly fill up this form and share your inputs to make the program better. Now, the forum is open for Q&A session. Please, interested aspirants may click raise hand button in the Zoom application.
So Dr. Perumal, first of all,